Great. Okay. So today, our topic, for those of you who are just joining in, is how many conversations is it going to take for us to get to $100,000 of income as a real estate investor who uses wholesaling as an exit strategy? Let me just put my phone on vibrate so that it doesn't affect our conversations. For those of you who are joining in for the first time, one of the things that I really like to do is I like to use AI for, to help me with my slides and to help me with some of the work that I do. And so if you haven't tried it yet, Google has their AI image generator, which I really, really love. If you pay for any of their services. Typically, they include Gemini and they include the image generator. So what I did was I prompted them to give me an image of Albert Einstein at a fraternity party in the 1980s with both men and women of multicultural, races, with a fraternity sweater that says DISPO on it, navy blue with green letters. Now, originally, I tried to get it to do the fraternity letters of my of where I pledged when I was at UCLA, which was at Theta Delta Chi, and it couldn't get it right. For whatever reason, the AI just couldn't get the Greek letters correctly. So I eventually decided to just go back to DISPO, and I think it did a really, really good job. We've got Albert Einstein wearing a DISPO sweater at a party, a fraternity party. It looks like he's having a pretty good time. Make sure that you like and follow us, please. For those of you who are just tuning in, please give me a thumbs up or a fire emoji so that way I know that the audio is coming through okay. I see it looks like it is, but it's always good to have confirmation of that. And I am looking at the screens and at the audio settings to make sure. So please give me a thumbs up so that I know. We do this stuff for you for free. The cost of admission is just a like, an emoji, a heart. We love hearts, and a subscription. So please subscribe to us. Please click on the bell icon so that way you can get alerts anytime that we go live. All right. This business becomes very, very simple when you understand the rules. And the reason that I'm saying that is because we're going to go over these numbers. We're going to go over exactly how many conversations it's going to take for you to make $100,000 this year in this business. And, there's a lot of times where, people will go on social media and they've got hooks for days, hooks like, this is probably going to get taken down, but I'm going to share with you how Zillow is just printing me money. Zillow is a money printing machine. I can go on and on and on about different hooks that people use out there to get people to watch their videos. But the truth is, they don't really explain exactly how to do this business. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a formula so that you have some type of a target, so that you know exactly what metrics you should be trying to hit in order to be successful in this business, in order to earn $100,000 this year, and what numbers you need, what metrics you need to hit in order to hit that, as opposed to me just saying, I don't know, this video is going to get taken down. My Zillow printing machine is giving me houses for free. As opposed to me doing that, what I want to do is I want to give you actual concrete numbers so that you know what you need to do in order to be successful. Just as a reminder, we're giving away, as a raffle, 1 free year of Batch Dialer. It's the advanced edition. It's the 5-line dialer. You need to participate in this raffle so that you can you could be in it. You have to visit free.dispodragons.com, free.dispodragons.com, register. We're going to be doing a virtual training with the Batch Company on March 20th at 10 a.m. So March 20th at 10 a.m. The Batch Company is going to be doing a training on how to use the Batch Dialer. And once you register and you sit through the whole training, at the very end, we are going to give a code, a secret code. And within 10 minutes of the conclusion of that training, you have to DM us on Instagram that code, and you'll be entered into the raffle. So it's very, very simple. All you have to do is register. Free.dispodragons.com. Attend the training on March 20th at 10 a.m. Sit through the whole thing. We'll learn how to use the Batch Dialer system, all the best practices, the tips and the tricks and the strategies that all the people that are making 6 figures a year, six figures a month. All the tips and techniques that they're using, while they're teaching you how to do that. And at the very end, get that code, DM us the code, you're entered into the raffle, and one lucky winner is going to get 1 free year of Batch Dialer, the advanced system with 5 lines, meaning you've got 5 lines dialing for you. And during this training, you are going to understand the significance of that 5-line dialer, okay? So make sure you register, make sure you're there. If you haven't picked up my book yet, please pick it up. Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon. It is a full-blown blueprint on how to be successful in this business. You can pick it up at dove.dispodragons.com, dove.dispodragons.com. That link will take you directly to Amazon. You can get the paperback version or you can get the Audible version. Tim Alexander did the narration for me for this book. He is an amazing voice actor. He really gave the book life, and you're really going to enjoy the Audible version. You can listen to it as you drive around. It's a great, great book. You'll enjoy it. Okay, dove.dispodragons.com. If you pick up the paperback version and you take a picture of yourself with the book and then tag us on social media, I'll send you a free Audible version for free. Okay, I'll give you a code for it. You can download it. You'll have it on Audible as well. All right, so please visit it. All right. Yeah, you know what? I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very true about the Deal Bazooka. When we were giving it away for free, nobody paid attention. And now that we're paying, now that you have to pay for it, now people ask for it. Anyway, so what are we looking at? We're looking at a picture of Jay-Z and Warren Buffett. If you didn't know that, then you live under a rock. And the reason that I chose this picture is because Jay-Z, who by all accounts was already wildly successful, sought out a mentor. And who did he seek out? He sought out Warren Buffett. Why? Because Warren Buffett was more successful than him. Warren Buffett is one of the wealthiest men on the planet. And so Jay-Z decides, hey, if I want to become more successful, I have to go out there and I have to find a mentor who's doing more things than I am. I need to find a billionaire who can mentor me on how to become 100 billionaire, right? And that's exactly what he did. And this is a very, very famous photo of Jay-Z and Warren Buffett at a diner. Now, they cut off Stephen Forbes, and I don't know why, but the point is, it's Jay-Z, Warren Buffett, Stephen Forbes having milkshakes at a diner, talking about how to, how Jay-Z can enhance his business. He's seeking out a mentor. In this business, it's the exact same thing. We have a profit-sharing mentorship. I don't know where that slide went, but you can visit it by going to start.dispodragons.com, start.dispodragons.com. Our profit-sharing mentorship essentially works like this. You have a mentee, you are assigned a mentor. That mentor, their job is to essentially close your leads for you, get the contracts ready, find the buyers, help you close the deals, and they do all of this stuff together, and you make money as a mentee, the mentor makes money. It's a very, 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 very affordable fee. Everybody gets a share of the profits. Everybody has an incentive to work together, and it works. Okay, we already have proof that it works. It's been working. So visit start.dispodragons.com, join, get a mentor. One will be assigned to you, and everybody will work together. You'll earn while you learn. Start.dispodragons.com. All right, let's get right into it. So how many conversations do I need to have in order to make $100,000? I want to make $100,000 this year. How am I going to do it? How many people do I have to talk to? How many outbound attempts do I have to make? Let's analyze that now. Number one, this isn't a science, okay? The stuff that I'm going to share with you, they are estimates. Deadpool called it an educated wish, and that's exactly what this is. This is an educated wish, but at least I am giving you some numbers so that you have a target to aim for. That is what's most important. There are a bunch of people in this business who are running around wild, not really knowing how many attempts should I make when I'm doing outbound marketing? How many people should I speak to on a daily basis? How many people that I talk to will result in a hot lead? How many of those hot leads actually convert to contracts? How many of those contracts actually convert to deals closed? And people don't know these numbers because there's too much of this. Zillow's going to take this down because it's just printing me money. I don't know if this is legal, but Zillow's going to give me a free house. There's too much of that, and there's not enough of okay, give me the concrete evidence, give me the concrete numbers of what it is that I need to do in order to be successful. Just give me the blueprint. Just tell me what I got to do, and I'll do it every day, okay? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about right now. So here's the deal. You're going to need hot leads. Now, I've done other trainings on what a hot lead is considered, but here's just to Just to remind you, a hot lead in my book is somebody that has a minimum of three, I don't want to call them pain points, but three qualities that I look for. And the first quality is, number one, obviously the price. They know what price they want, right? If a seller says to me, make me an offer, I don't really have a price, that's not a hot lead to me. Okay, they haven't identified that price. So if they say make me an offer, not a hot lead. Okay, they have to have their price. The second thing they have to have is their time frame, right? 30, 60, 90 days. When do you want to move? Or do you want 6 months? Anything within 30 to 60 days is considered a hot lead for me. 90 days is kind of a warm lead. 6 months is a very, very lukewarm lead. I'm probably going to put it on the side and just follow up with them every 3 to 4 months, okay? But a hot lead is somebody that has the price. They have a time frame. They want to do something within the next 30 to 60 days. And the third quality that I look for is where they're going to relocate to. Right? They already know where they're going to next. In their mind, they have an idea. I want to retire in Florida. I need to move down south to my ranch in Texas. Now, if they don't live in the property, that's a different scenario, right? If they don't live in the property, but they have a tenant in it and they say, I'm tired of dealing with the tenant, at least that's a pain point. But when they live in the property, I need to know their price. I need to know their time frame, and I need to know where they're going to next. Now, the fourth optional one, which really makes them super hot if they give me this, is they tell me why they're selling, right? Again, going back to what I said earlier, they may not live in it, but they may have a tenant that they're tired of dealing with. They may have inherited a property that they don't want to deal with. They may have a property that has way too many repairs for them. They may have a 2-story property and they're too old to be getting up and down the stairs anymore. It doesn't make sense for them. They may have a property that is in such poor condition and they don't have the money to repair it. These are all the things that I want to hear. So as long as they've got those three, and bonus for fourth, I've got a hot lead. Okay, that's a hot lead. Somebody that was just on the phone with you for 15 minutes talking about, their life story and how they were in World War II. That's not a hot lead. Just because you had a conversation with them and you related to them for a little bit does not constitute a hot lead. I need those 4 qualities at bare minimum, and any pain points that I discover after I ask them why they're selling, that's just gravy on top. All right? Now, for one hot lead, you're going to need 20 conversations. 25 conversations. So one hot lead is equal to 25 conversations. Get that in your head. One hot lead equals 25 conversations, which means that if you want to get one hot lead, you need to make contact. You need to have an actual conversation with someone. Now, when I say conversation, don't mistake what I'm saying for phone calls. It doesn't always have to be phone calls. It can be a phone call. It can be an SMS text message. It can be an email. It can be a DM, a direct message, right? If you're using like Facebook Marketplace, it can be any of those things, right? So it can be a phone call, it can be a text, it can be an email, it can be a DM. All of those 4 things are considered a conversation. They're considered a conversation if there's you're interacting with the person, right? So one hot lead is equal to 25 conversations with somebody else, right, about their property. Now, one contract is equal to 3 hot leads. So for every 3 hot leads, you're probably going to get 1 contract signed. Those are the numbers. For every 3 hot leads, you're probably going to get 1 contract. So what that means is, because we just went over this, 1 hot lead is equal to 25 conversations. That means that you're going to have to get 75 conversations to get 1 contract. So when people are saying, hey, I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 months and I haven't gotten my first deal, and then they message me and I say, well, how many people have you talked to? And they say, well, I've talked to like 25 or 30 people, and then they don't understand why they haven't gotten their first deal under contract. It's because you need a minimum of 75 conversations. And again, these conversations can be on the phone, they can be text, they can be email, they can be DM, but you need a minimum of 75 conversations in order to get 1 contract. Because 3 hot leads is equal to 1 contract. And 1 hot lead is equal to 25 conversations. Right? I hope this is making sense for everybody that's listening to this, especially for those of you who are like, I haven't gotten my first deal and I don't know why. And I keep working and I'm making calls and I'm doing what I can. Well, did you actually have 75 conversations with someone, interactions with someone, right? Did you? Now, let's talk about 1 closed deal. Okay? If you want 1 closed deal, you need 3 contracts. These are the numbers. Deal fallout is part of this business. Now, Sometimes the deal fallout will be because of the seller, because there's title issues, because they changed their mind, because things happened, right? Because the seller died during the process, right? I just was talking to somebody and one person said, the seller actually went to jail, okay? They went into jail with a notary and got the paperwork signed, but that's another story. So the point is things happen, right? You might have locked it up too high and a deal fell out that way. Right? You may have had it under contract and then you had a buyer and you put the deal together and then the deal expired. That's a possibility too, right? There's a bunch of different things that could have happened, but one closed deal requires 3 contracts. So you're going to need 3 contracts to get one closed deal. Now, if you go back, we just talked about it. 1 contract equals 3 hot leads. To get 3 hot leads, you're going to need to have 75 conversations, which means that to get 3 contracts, you need 9 hot leads. And 9 hot leads means you have to have 225 conversations. So when someone says, I've been doing this business for 3 or 4 months, I haven't closed my first deal. When someone says, Paul, I've been doing this for 1 year, I haven't closed my first deal. Well, my question to them is, have you had 225 actual conversations with people? Because if you haven't actually had 225 conversations by phone, by text, by email, by DM, if you haven't done that, then that's why you haven't closed your first deal. And let me tell you that 90% of the time, when I ask people, have you spoken to 225 deals? Have you made contact, people, have you made contact with 225 people? Actually made contact with them, not dialed, not emailed, not text. Have you actually made contact with them where you've initiated a conversation and you've spoken to them about the possibility of them selling their property to you? Have you? And an overwhelming 90% of them will always say no, and that's the problem. The problem is most people don't have a target. They don't realize that, okay, so I got it now. I understand. I just need to speak to 225 people, and if I speak to 225 people, I'll probably get a deal. That's what you should be aiming for. Not this, this video is going to get banned. I don't even know how this is legal. Not those kind of videos. 225 contacts, that's what you need. You need 225 contacts, will get you one deal. So you got to be willing to do that. Now, here's some interesting numbers, okay? And you're going to have to know about this. And I'm checking the comments right now. Sorry, I'm just going through scrolling. All right, 1% of all outbound marketing efforts respond. Now, when I say outbound marketing efforts, I'm not centered for whatever reason. I'm centered now. All right. When I say 1% of all outbound marketing efforts respond, what that means is that you're only going to get 1% of all your efforts that actually reply to any of your efforts, okay? So if you want 225 conversations, if you want to speak to 225 people, what does that actually mean? That means that you have to have 22,500 dials, texts, emails, or DMs. 22,500 dials, texts, emails, or direct messages. I don't care how you chop up the pot. I don't care how you split up the pie. I don't care how you chop up the steak. Anyway, the point is it's 22,500. So 22,500 attempts and you will probably get one deal. All right. Now, how do we break this up? Well, here's the deal. There's some people that use, auto dialers, which you talked about. There's some people that are doing SMS campaigns, and they're sending out between 100 to 500 to 1,000 SMS texts per day. That still counts as part of the 22,500. Okay. Emails. You got some people that are sending out, letters of intent. We use the Deal Bazooka to send out anywhere between 50 to 400 letters of intent offers per day. That counts towards the 22,500. You've got people that are sending DMs, direct messages, right? Some people are doing it themselves. They're sending out 100, 200, 300 direct messages a day. That counts towards the 22,500. So when I say 22,500, people automatically think, oh, he wants me to make 22,500 phone calls. No, what I'm saying is you can use any combination of your marketing efforts. Your target should just be to get to 22,500. How you get there is entirely up to you. What strategies you use is entirely up to you. You can use calling, you can use SMS, you can use direct message, you can use email campaigns, you can use blasting out letters of intent or blasting out offers using other tools that do all that. We use the Deal Bazooka, and it works really, really well for us. That's the metrics. Those are the numbers. Just, again, I said it at the very beginning. This business becomes very easy once you understand the rules of the game, but most people don't understand these rules because these aren't the kind of numbers that are being put out there and teaching people how to do it. Most people are just saying things like, you get contract, you get this contract, you put it together, I made $10,000, and the money showed up in my mailbox, and all I had to do was open the envelope up, as opposed to really breaking this down, because this stuff's not sexy. This isn't sexy. It's not attractive. It's not fun to have to go over these numbers, right? Nobody really likes to talk about it, but this is the reality of what it's going to take in order to be successful. I'm okay with being the messenger and having to be the one that actually delivers the truth. All right. Did you guys know that Alani was just bought out by Celsius for over $1 billion? And the founder of Alani, I can't remember her name right now, but she just started out as a personal trainer and building her social media brand. Anyway, all right, 22,500 dials, texts, emails, DMs, divided by the number of hours per month. Now we're going to break it down even further. We went a little macro, now we're going to go micro, and we're going to talk about what you have to do in order to make this successful on a daily basis and on an hourly basis. All right. 2 hours per day. Let's say that you say, Paul, I can only work 2 hours per day. That's it. I can't do anything more than 2 hours per day. That's all I got. Okay, no problem. So if you're working 2 hours per day at 5 days a week, that would equate to 20 days of work. 40 hours per month, right? That's what that would equate to. So if you do 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 10 hours a week at 4 weeks a month. That's 40 hours per month of work. Now, if you divide that, what that turns into is the 22,500 dials, texts, emails, DMs, whatever strategies you want to use, divided by the 40 hours per month, means that you have to at least have 563 attempts per hour, or 1,126 attempts per day. Again, when I say attempts, I'm talking about outbound efforts. So let's say that you have an auto dialer, and the auto dialer can do about 150 to 200 calls per line. And you've got a 5-line dialer like the one that we're going to be raffling off, the batch dialer, right? If you attend that training on March 20th. So if that's true, and each line can do about 100 dials per hour or 150 dials per hour with 5 lines, that's already 600 outbound attempts, right? In just 1 hour with 5 lines dialing, okay? Or let's say that you're using a SMS marketing campaign, and that SMS marketing campaign throughout the day is going to be sending out, 100 text messages to people per hour for 3 or 4 hours, and you have the money to invest in that. Well, now you've sent out 400 text messages during the day. That eats into the 22,500. So as you can start to see, it becomes a lot easier to do this when you have the right tools in place. Now, for some of you who are looking at this and you're like, there's no way, I can't do this all by myself. I don't have the money to invest in these tools. I'm not going to be able to do this. And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Just understand that it's going to take you a little bit longer for you to be able to get this to work. That's okay. Look, nobody says that moving slow is bad. Okay, building this thing slow is okay, but you just, again, need to understand the rules of the game. It's just going to take you a little bit longer, and that's fine. But you got to stay in the game long enough to see the results of that. And you can't complain 3 months, 4 months later saying, I still haven't gotten my first deal, when I'm giving you the numbers, I'm giving you the formula here, and now you just know that you have to hit those metrics. However long it takes you to hit those metrics is entirely up to you, and entirely up to your ability to be able to invest in some of the tools to be able to get to those numbers faster. That's the reality. Okay, that's just the reality. Now, that's if you do 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, what happens if you work a Saturday? No, I'm going to work a Saturday. I'm going to do 2 hours per day, 6 days a week, which equals to 24 hours a day of work, 48 hours per month. Well, look what happens to the numbers. They just go down. Now your attempts should be 469 attempts per hour. All right, so think about it. You've got a 5-line dialer. Each line dials 100 lines per hour. You work 2 hours. You've already surpassed the 469 that you needed, or the 938 that you need for the day. Now let's say you combine that with like a tool like the Deal Bazooka that sends out 100 offers for you. Well, there's 100 already. It just ate into the 938 that you need. And let's say that you're sending out SMS campaigns, right? Or you're sending out DMs through Facebook and you're manually doing it. because it really is very difficult to automate that stuff. The direct messaging thing. Let's say you send out 50 direct messages or 100 direct messages. Look, I'll tell you that there's times when I'm on the Stairmaster or the elliptical doing my cardio for 30 minutes, and I've probably sent out 50 direct messages to properties and to people who I think are sellers using Facebook Marketplace while I'm on the Stairmaster. Okay, so you can't tell me that it can't be done. There are people that are doing it. All right. Now, obviously, if you have some money to invest in the business, it's going to be a little bit easier to hit these metrics. But let's say, okay, you know what, Paul? I got 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 20 days of work. That's 60 hours per month to work. Now the numbers change. Now it's 375 attempts per hour. 375 attempts. I've already showed you that if you use a dialer, obviously you're going to hit that easy. You need 1,125 attempts per day. How you break it up is entirely up to you. Are you going to do the auto dialer? Are you going to do SMS? Are you going to do mass offer blasting, right? Using like the deal bazooka? What are you going to do? How are you going to get to that 1,125 attempts per day? Let's say you want to work 6 days. So as you can see, I've created the slides. And for anybody that wants these slides, go ahead and shoot me a DM, and I slide into my DM. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but you see the cool fraternity party behind me too? It's this whole like college fraternity thing, right? You got Dispo party in the back. For those of you who are my age, you remember Animal House. So we've got Einstein wearing a Dispo shirt at a fraternity party. We've got a Dispo party going on in the background. I mean, it's popping. All right, 3 hours per day, 6 days a week, 24 hours per day, 72 hours. I mean, the numbers just keep adjusting. Obviously, the more hours you put in, the better the hours become, right? I don't need to go into every single one of these slides because you figured it out already. 282 attempts per hour if you're going to work 4 hours a day. Now let's talk about how to get to 100,000. Okay, now I've broken it down for you. So now you have a much better understanding. I think, your target again, just understand that in order to close one deal, you're going to need to have at least 225 conversations with sellers, which means you're going to have at least 22,500 outbound marketing attempts. However you get to those 22,500 marketing attempts is entirely up to you. You can do it by phone, you can do it by email, you can do it by text, you can do it by DM. You can do it by advertising, but advertising is a little bit trickier to actually calculate the number of attempts. So all I'm doing is just giving you the numbers, okay? Don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just telling you how to do it. So if you want to get to $100,000 and the average deal is $7,500, all right, let's talk about that for a quick second, okay? So I know that there's people that are, love to post their checks and they love to post their wires, and sometimes you'll see checks for like, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, and God bless them. We've seen those kind of checks. We've earned those kind of checks. But the average, let's say the average is $7,500. I'd rather be conservative as opposed to prepping you for $40,000, $50,000 checks every time, because those are great. Those you would consider those home runs. But $7,500 base hits, okay? If you're getting on base and you're getting 7,500, you're closing 1, 2, 3 of these a month. You're not doing too bad. So let's say that the average is 7,500 per deal. What that means is, in order to earn $100,000, you need 13 deals a year. 13 deals a year, which means, multiply that times 22,500 attempts, marketing attempts, which means you're going to need 292,500 attempts per year. Now, divide that by month, and now you're at 24,375 marketing attempts per month. Divide that by weeks, right? 24,375, and I think that number might be wrong. I'm going to check real fast. I just realized that. You guys are watching me do this in real time. So I need 292,500. Divide that by 52 weeks. We're at 5,625 per week. So I estimated it a little higher. It's actually 56, but whatever. So 6,100 attempts per week, which means you need 1,219 attempts per day. So in order to make $100,000 this year, being a real estate investor, using wholesaling as a strategy, you're going to need 1,219 219 marketing attempts, outbound attempts per day. You can do it by phone. You can do it by email. You can do it by text. You can do it by direct message. However you want to do it is entirely up to you. However you want to break it up is entirely up to you. Whatever strategy you want to use is entirely up to you. But you're going to need about 1,219 attempts, and that is the reason that you see people when they show their checks or they show their wires and they show you the insane amount of money that they're making. They have mastered these numbers and they understand, okay, so 1,200 attempts per day. Well, if I hire virtual assistants to do the calling for me, and I have 3 virtual assistants that are using an auto dialer and they're using a 5-line dialer for each of those for 2 or 3 hours, and each dialer can dial 100 lines per hour, well, that's 500 lines. That they've already eaten half of their attempts just in that dialer. And then they say to themselves, well, every day nationwide I can be submitting between 50 to 400 offers per day using a tool like the Deal Bazooka. I could submit these offers every single day. Well, that's another 300 or 400 offers. That's another 200 or 300. That's another 100 that I've just eaten out of that 1,219 marketing attempts. Well, if I use a tool to help me with my SMS marketing, and that SMS marketing, text message marketing, can send out for me between 100 to 500 text messages per day, guess what? That just ate into that 1,219 marketing attempts I need to make. So now they already surpassed it. You've got 500 with the dialer, you've got 200 with an LOI blaster, right? With the Deal Bazooka, you've got another 300 or 400 with SMS marketing, and that's how people are making 6 figures and well over 6 figures, because they've mastered these numbers. They understand the marketing attempts, and they're not afraid to exploit them. But a lot of them won't share them because a lot of people get too scared by hearing them. And what I'm doing is I just want to give you the actual numbers so that you understand the rules of the game. Anybody can do this once they understand the rules of the game. Most people just aren't sharing them. What they'd rather share is, this video is going to get taken down because Zillow just gave me a free house. That's what everyone wants to see, right? Nobody wants to see this because this isn't sexy. But guess what? I just gave you the tools. So now you know the numbers. Now you know what you got to do. And I am going to just do a quick reminder. On March 20th, we're going to be raffling off 1 free year of Batch Dialer, the advanced system, the 5-line dialer, for free. All you have to do is go to free.dispodragons.com. You're going to get a dialer for the whole year for free. Go to free.dispodragons.com. Register for our training. It's a virtual training on March 20th at 10 a.m. in the morning. You got to sit through the whole training. At the very end, we're going to give a code. Now, I am toying with the possibility of giving a code in the middle and a code at the end. But anyway, right now, you need the code at the very end. And 10 minutes from the conclusion of the training, you need to send us a DM through Instagram letting us know what the code is. Everybody that does that registers, that participates, and send us the code or codes. I'm keeping that part a secret, right? Code or codes. You'll be entered into a raffle, and you can win 1 free year of Batch Dialer. All right. I hope this helped you out. Please make sure that you like and follow, right? Make sure that you subscribe to us. Press the bell icon so that you can get alerts every single time that we go live. Visit our school community. We call it the Dollar Club, school.dispodragons.com. Yeah, it costs $1 to join. But listen, we have a new affiliate system there where we're giving away prizes, we're giving away software, we're giving away a whole bunch of stuff. Trust me, not only is it an opportunity for you to learn and network with other people in our business, but at the same time, we're going to have fun and you're going to be able to win prizes, including cool gear like role playing, deal analysis, our caps, our golf shirts, our books, all of that stuff. And we're giving away the Deal Bazooka for free. And the top prize is the auto dialer as well. So these are all the things that we're giving away for free if you join our community, school.dispodragons.com. We call it the Dispo Dragons Dollar Club. Okay? So anyway, I appreciate everybody being on this training. If you have any deals that you need help with, if you have any questions about this business and how to be successful at it, send me a message. I'd love to hear from you, and I could probably cover the topics that you need help with on the next training.